Your signature key number 4, resolve learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is essentially your inability to find a solution to a particular problem, right? It's just becoming too difficult for you to find the right solution, even if there is a solution to the problem. Lately, there has been this push to get chronically homeless people off the streets and into shelters or into some sort of temporary centers or something like that, right? But then you have the same homeless people, right? Because they want to break up all of the tent encampments, these cities, these local jurisdictions. But then you would have the chronically homeless people who are sleeping outside in the elements, weather issues, things like that, complain about the shelter system and the rules and the curfew, and it's not right. And I'm a grown individual, and I should be able to come in when I want to come in. So the learned helplessness in that regard is a person not really wanting to adopt an obvious solution to their chronic homelessness, that or receive or accept a solution. Look, if you can get into a shelter for 2 or 3 months, if it's permitted, it'll give you an opportunity to set up a PO box. It'll give you an opportunity to rest your mind a little bit. It'll give you an opportunity to set up social services, food stamps, disability services, because you need an address. Sure, for most shelters, you have to take everything with you. So it'll be an opportunity to get a storage right facility or something like that, but it's an opportunity. But when you have a person who exercises learned helplessness, they don't see opportunity even in opportunity. That opportunities are around them. People, they have access to resources, they have access to a network, they have access to a center that they can go into, but they would rather be homeless. I remember a particular time when I had to stay at the Salvation Army uh, during my sort of stint with losing my job during the financial recession, and then going back and forth with family and then homeless shelters as well. And there were some people who were actually getting a disability check. The disability check, from what I understood, what another person told me about, it was like $1,200 a month, and they were getting a disability check. But instead of to go get a place, they complained that the rent would be too high. Say the rent was going to be 650 to 7. Yeah, but that still gives you a lot. Even if it was 7, um, you still had $300 to $500 left over that you could sort of work in terms of managing. No, what I saw was they were getting a disability check, and then they would park themselves right in front of Salvation Army on the grass, and they will sit out in the sun all day. Sometimes they will go use the restroom at the Salvation Army. If the Salvation Army was a cooling station, they will go and get some water, and then they'll come back out and they'll sit right there on the grass. And then on a Friday, they will go to the liquor store that was around the corner, get them some liquor, and then drink it, fall out on the ground, right? Hopefully, no one beat them up or anything, and then they would just repeat that process all over again. But you're sitting in front of a location with a bunch of people in there with resources, with resources, with resource. I can't with resources, and so you can be a person who is sitting right in front of someone with the instructions you need for your next journey, and you can just completely refuse to accept that person's instructions. And so that's part of your own learned helplessness, that it becomes your own pattern. It becomes your belief system after a while, and it's likely some root cause. Maybe in school you didn't pass the test, and you said you can't pass it, so you're not going to try harder. And then you moved into high school, you couldn't make the cheerleading team, so you're not going to try anymore. Then you moved into the workforce, You got fired off your job for coming in late, and so you just decided not to resolve that issue anymore uh, by actually coming in on time. And then you went into a marriage, and the marriage failed because you couldn't stop cheating, or you couldn't make enough money to to sustain yourself as an adult within the marriage, and so the wife decided to divorce you, or you decided to divorce. And then there could be actual a medical issue where you got hurt on the job, and instead of actually resting and learn and healing from that process, you decided to just go on ahead and get back to it and mess up a lot of the areas on your body. You can be in romantic relationships where it just you keep jumping from toxic relationship to toxic relationship because it works, because you really do like toxicity. And so these are all types or categories and forms of learned helplessness that you need to resolve if you're going to cultivate your signature. Because think about a lot of these people who have become famous. They got money, they got now access to money and resources, but something in their uh, mental mental disposition is showing up in their money and how they spend their money and what they do with their money. And so something is not healed and whole, so that all of their shenanigans, their public social shenanigans, are actually taking more of a priority than the signature itself. I can point to many artists. I don't want to call attention to their names right now, maybe for trademark purposes. But here it is: they sing extremely well. They are extremely talented. But they have to get on, social media and act a fool and do stupid stuff and things like that, so that we are more preoccupied with their tomfoolery than we are with their signature. That's also a form of learned helplessness. So cultivate your signature. Key number 4, resolve learned helplessness.